Hi everyone. In today's video I am going to be making a Halloween swag. I'm using this Dollar Tree ink sign, and I've got this lime sorbet Coat paint along with some black apple barrel paint that Plaid had sent me in a box a few months ago. And I'm just going to paint this whole sign with the green, and then later after it distresses, after it dries, I don't show it, but I take some of that black and distress the sign. Now I've got 2 of the candy cane wreaths from the Dollar Tree and some zip ties, and I'm going to make a swag form with this. And all I'm going to do is just take the end of one swag and meet it with the other end of the other swag and just zip tie them together. Now these candy cane wreath frames this year are significantly smaller than last year, but it works out great. You still get a really good sized swag with it, or centerpiece if that's what you choose to do. So here I'm trying to be pretty careful of just bending the forms. I have had some of the Dollar Tree wreath frames break on me before, so I was just trying to be pretty careful with them. Sorry for the lighting. It gets a little bit better in the video. I was trying to use some natural light today, and it didn't do as well as I had thought. So once I get it all attached, I'm taking the chenille stems and placing a chenille stem on the 2 middle rings of the crossbars. So in total you need 8 of the chenille stems, and this works out perfectly as well. So here's my 21-inch deco mesh and my 10-inch deco mesh that I got both of them from Craft Outlet, and they were just the ends of the roll, so I was trying to use them up. Here I'm just bunching the ends of the 21-inch deco mesh, and I'm going to take and zip tie it to the top ring of, or the inner ring of the wreath frame. And then I'm just going to trim the edge, cut off the end of the zip tie. And then once I get my cutting mat on the table, I will take the end of the zip tie that I had just cut off and measure that, and use it as a starting point and measure out 10 inches. And then I just attach it to the first chenille stem. And then I go from that chenille stem, measure out 10 inches and place it into the next chenille stem. And all I do is just give it a couple of good twists. I sometimes fluff as I go, other times I don't. So sometimes I'll start off fluffing out the poofs, and then I end up quitting and then finishing it at the end. Now I will say, since the distance between the chenille stems on the side to the chenille stems on the top and the bottom, then what I did with the first one is I still did a 10-inch, but it was a little smaller than what I like. So when I went to the second, then I went ahead and measured out like 11 or 12 inches. And that's what I'm doing with this one as well. And for the last one, as it goes across, I'll measure the 11 or 12 inches as well as that. That way when it goes over the curve of the wreath frame, it has more coverage and it looks better. So I'm showing you that I'm just taking the end of the deco mesh and zip tying that end to one of the rings on the wreath frame. Honestly, it doesn't matter which one you do, because I'm going to trim it off, and then once I poof out that poof, then it goes ahead and covers it. So now once I've got my base on here, then with my 10-inch mesh, I cut them at 15 inches, and I'm just doing a little ruffle, and I'm adding a ruffle to each of the chenille stems as well. Now, once I have put the deco mesh in, then I will take some wired ribbon, and it's really important to use wired ribbon because it helps you shape your ribbons and helps give it the curve and the curls that you need. But I will actually take several, actually it's like, I think four different rolls, and I'll cut some tails, and then I'll end up making a bow. So you can actually make these pretty inexpensively. Definitely you can go to like Hobby Lobby and get some deco mesh when it's 50% off, or one of my favorite places to get the deco mesh is Craft Outlet, and they're they really are pretty inexpensive. So here I'm just picking out some different ribbon. All of them except for the one with the witch's legs are from the Dollar Tree, and the one here with the cauldron and the witch's leg is just basically the end of a roll that I had that I'm gonna use the rest of it up on this. So really you could spend about $4 or $5 on the ribbons if you're going with the Dollar Tree, because on this one, since it's not as big and you only have 8 places to tie in your ribbon, then you can use, what I did was I cut them at 13 inches and basically cut 4 of each of the ribbons, and then the rest of what I had on the ribbon spool I used for the bow, which I'll show you how to make here shortly. And this is also good for some of the scrap ribbon you may have during making the bows. This here is just some deco tubing that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to be adding that to the wreath frame as well with the ribbons. And here I'm just kind of playing around with it and seeing how I wanted it to be on the wreath frame. So here I'm just adding it to the top of the chenille stem and just curling it down, the chenille stems down, and kind of trying to hide it a little bit. And so I'll do this for each of the 8 chenille stems. So here is my bow maker, and basically I'm just counting out, I think it was 12 inches for the first tail, and this is what I mean by little remnants of your wire, your ribbon spools. So I had used this on a couple of other crafts and there wasn't much of it left. So I'm going to use it to help make the bows and just add a little bit more color. So then the second tail that I I cut was 8 inches. And here I'm just going to go back with several different ribbons, and I'm going to just layer them on top of one another to make this bow. And I'm making the loops at 6 inches initially, and then I will actually go down to 5.5 inches. So as you can kind of tell, I am making the long tail on one side and then making my loops. And then the tails are going to go in the opposite direction. So that's all you really do. As I had the first tail starting out at the top with that orange and black stripe, now I had started it on the other side. This is only my second time using this, and I actually like it. I still gotta get used to it. I get a little clumsy because I've got to twist and push it down, and then sometimes I've noticed that when I do twist it and push it down, that it doesn't always come out to the length. Maybe it's usually longer, so I'll have to adjust it a little bit as far as the loops. So then I just take and gather all of it, and I'll put a chenille stem around it and tie it pretty tight. I like to fold it over so I can get a really good grip on the chenille stem and make it tight. And then I'll just fluff out my bow, and then I'll go in and dovetail the ends of the bow, the tails. So here, now that I've made my bow, I'm just going to take it and attach it to the very top of the wreath frame. And I'm just attaching it to the crossbar. And then I'm just going to fold under the end of the chenille stem, that way it's not sticking out or anything. So I go back and fluff some more, make sure all my loops are pulled out and they're not laying flat, and then I go in and I curve the tails to make it just a little bit more full and fluffy. I love a fluffy bow. So here is my ink sign all painted. I think it turned out really great. I love it. And all I did was actually just use my staple gun and staple the chenille stems, one on the top and one on the bottom, and then I attach it at a slight angle on the wreath form. And again, you always got to do a little fluffing, make sure all your tails are showing, and your bow doesn't get in the way of your center part. But here it is. I love it, and I hope you guys like it, and thank you for stopping by. I'll see you in the next one.